This is ColorblindAdam.
All right, good morning, NFT fam. I want to talk to you today about WAGMI, or We're All Gonna Make It. Now, before I do that, just know I'm here in Luang Namtan now. I've left Hue Sai, and since I'm here in Laos and I'm traveling around, it can be noisy. Just imagine that, all these noises and stuff you're hearing. You're here with me. We're having a nice little chat, and let it be. Just enjoy it. Okay, so let's get into WAGMI. So WAGMI is this idea that we're all gonna make it, because for some reason, if we mint our stuff now, our art potentially has intrinsic value because we're early adopters of technology. Our art is recorded on the blockchain, and for some reason, people believe that timestamp is going to give your art value down the road. Because in the traditional art scene, if a painting's 200, 300 years old, it tends to be worth a little bit more if it was done by a famous artist than if it was just an art piece that was done just a week ago. That's the idea. Do I agree with it? I don't know. But a lot of people will throw out these terms like WAGMI, we're all going to make it, as kind of a source of encouragement. We're all friends here in this NFT community. We're all supportive and trying to help each other be successful. And so people will throw around words like that in hopes of helping each other be successful. So we don't get discouraged, because it can be discouraging. It can. People get disheartened because we don't see people's failures. We don't see the grind. All we see is the sale. Because we post when we've made a sale. We don't post like 10 days no sales, 30 days no sales, 6 months still grinding. People don't post that. They rarely talk about that. What they normally talk about is, hey, this art just sold, this art's now on secondary, it's now listed. Everyone's excited about when they get the sale. So we're celebrating these successes. So we're seeing successes in our feed, our news feed every day, and we're still not making that sale. We're going to feel discouraged. People say, WAGMI, don't worry, WAGMI. Well, this can lead to what's called toxic positivity, is where we give people false hope and false promises, and potentially we're wasting their time, because some people just don't have what it takes to be a successful artist. Maybe they just don't have that drive. So just keep throwing these words like WAGMI at them. I don't know if that's the best life choice for them. However, I do believe in supporting each other. Send those retweets, putting the comments on, passing out hearts like they're candy, hosting spaces to help people share their art. Yeah, we got to be supportive and help each other. But we don't necessarily have to, and maybe my position is controversial, we don't necessarily have to prescribe to the idea of WAGMI. So I'm first going to give my opinion on why WAGMI is not real, and then I'm going to give an opinion of how we could potentially make WAGMI possible. So I'm going to give both, so stay till the end of the video. So the first one is why I don't believe it exists. And that is simply because when I was a kid, I was really into tabletop card games, and there was a lot of them. There was Magic the Gathering, there was TSR put out like a D&D one, there was Hyperion Gates, and so on and so forth. There was hundreds of these tabletop card games, and they were all early adopters. As soon as the card game genre started, they were on it, and they put them out there. And were they all successful though? Absolutely not. Of all the ones I just named, the only one that's still like really hopping is probably Magic the Gathering. Now there's other ones that have come and gone, and some that are doing very well, after I left the scene, like Pokemon became popular, Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you go to Japan, they're coming out all the time, new card games all the time, and they come and go. It is what it is. So does that mean that all of these card games were a success? Some were failures. Some of those companies filed bankruptcy. Some of them had to sell their company to larger companies. Even some of the successful ones have sold their assets and holdings, like TSR. They sold their assets to, I think it was Wizards of the Coast, which is Magic the Gathering, which later was bought out by Hasbro. So were they all successes? I don't know. I don't think so, at least historically speaking. And if you look at the world of artists, is every artist successful? 100% no. I would say that it is a small minority of artists who can make a career out of it. I've been really blessed with people buying my traditional paintings, that I've been able to pay my bills. And I live in a country, though, where I can pay my bills with just 1 or 2 painting sales. If I was in the US, I don't know if I would be as successful as I am here in Laos, simply because of the cost of living. So we have to take into account the challenges of being an artist. It's not easy. And then you apply that to the NFT community, where it is a small community. There's not as many buyers in the NFT community yet. And so the idea that we're all going to make it, guys, I don't know if it's real. So how can we help maximize the potential so that we can all make it? Like, how can we increase our chances or odds? I would argue that we should form more artistic DAOs. So like insurance, for example, like you have people pooling their resources. So if one person's injured, we can help them with cover the costs. Well, artistic DAOs, like existing DAOs, where multiple artists and collectors come together and they vote. They have a multi-sig wallet, so not one person controls the money; it's controlled by a group. And every time a transaction takes place, multiple people have to sign off on it. And what you can do with those assets is you can pool your artistic assets, and when one sells, the money goes to the DAO, and then the DAO disperses it to the members. Or they can collect art and then flip it using funds from the DAO. Again, these can all be voted on: what to bid on, what to buy, or you can assign people. Your job is to find, the up and coming artist. Your job is to do marketing. Your job is to do this, and then you can pay them through the DAO resources. DAOs are super cool. It is one of the coolest parts of the Ethereum blockchain. And I really encourage us as a community, maybe we should look into more of these DAOs. Maybe that is the future of how we can all make it, by pooling our resources. So it's not just one person marketing, it's a large team marketing. Now there's another option, and I did make another video on this, so if you haven't seen it yet, it might not be uploaded, but if it is, check it out. It's about NFTs for freedom. Doing group projects is another way to do it. Now this can be done through like individual collaborations, where you just have 1 or 3 people collabing together on an artistic project. One does the music, one does the poem, one does the painting, one does the animating, and you all do it together, and then if it sells, it's split equally, or percentages based on people's labor. You guys can decide, but these are another way to maximize your outreach to a larger and wider audience. Now, I also mentioned a larger project like NFTs for Freedom. Steve Ryan did that one. I think over 200 artists applied to be part of it, and I don't know the exact number, but I think maybe they accepted around 50 or something. I could be wrong, could be higher, could be lower. We're throwing it out there. The idea is, though, that if all these artists are working together, they don't have to market by themselves. A project can have a team do the marketing. A project can have, each of those artists also sharing it with their communities. So if I've got, let's say I've got 3 collectors following me. That guy's got, 6 collectors following him. That one's got 1 collector following him. But if they all share their project out, that's the potential to reach a multitude of collectors, right? And sell out a project. And there you are. That money then it can be dispersed evenly, or, based on people's contribution, through marketing or whatever, to the individual members. I'm not sure exactly the payout system for NFTs for Freedom, but the idea is that each artist can make a little bit of money and not have to do all the work by themselves. They're not a man alone on an island, if you will. They're part of a community, We're a team. And we always talk about being part of an NFT family, and that's part of what WAGMI is about, is trying to reinforce this encouragement to each other. Like, we're all going to make it. We're in this together. And maybe we can. And like I said, maybe we can, but I don't know if we can do it by ourselves. I think we have to do it as a community, whether it's community projects, community DAOs, or potentially just communities sharing each other's works, to try to get it in front of the right collector. So please be supportive of each other. If you hear the word WAGMI, think of it like do your best, okay? Like, you can do it, like an encouragement. Don't take of it so literally, like some people are doing, and then get really discouraged if they don't make it. Because I know we're putting in 40 hours a week sometimes. Some people putting in 70, some people only 10. Everyone's grinding at different rates, and that grind is exhausting. So sometimes we do need to hear words like, you're going to do it, you're going to make it, or WAGMI, right? So that's my opinion on this acronym. That's what it's about. So if you hear that when you're in Twitter space or Clubhouse room, that's all it means. It's just a way of encouraging each other.
ColorblindAdam.
And yeah, that's it, guys.